What's your reaction?
Hey, hell for him. Obviously the odds were going to be against us moving up. We were hopeful that would happen, but like I said, going into this thing, wherever we ended up, confident we're going to find a good player. We just hired a new coach as well, so I'm still very excited with the direction we're headed.
And now you have your work cut out for you trying to find that right guy, right?
Absolutely, definitely. We're going to, this is what, our front office staff has been charged to do all season long, go out here and beat the bushes for the very best players around the globe. So we'll be doing a lot of homework, a lot of interviewing of prospects over the next month and a half, and trying to find a guy who we feel is the best fit for our culture and our team moving forward.
Everybody believes you're going to go after a wing, but is it a situation where, I know you've said it before, you need talent. You're going to look at everything at this point?
Yeah, look, there's no secret that we can use help on the wing, but at the end of the day, I think we're still in that talent acquisition mode. So if that happens to be at number 9, a wing player, great. If we feel the most talented guy clearly is in another position, then we got to look that direction as well.
You've been a part of a lot of drafts. Is this a deep draft?
It's shaping up that way. I think the final part that I don't know about the draft yet is really going to start occurring this week in terms of getting a chance to interview a lot of these guys. Because for me, that's as important as evaluating the talent. We've been watching these guys play, so we have a little better handle on their physical skill. But it's going to be really important to really find out who these guys are as people. What kind of character they really embody, and see how they project how they would fit with us.
When you're up there, is there a sense of disappointment though when you don't move up?
Obviously the competitor, you love to see it. From where I was sitting, I got a view of it, so I kind of saw it before he said it, so I could prepare myself a little bit. But yeah, of course you want to win any contest, if you will, or lottery that you're in. But coming into it, my expectations were very measured. Knowing what the odds were, that I'm just happy we didn't move back. So we stayed consistent with the odds. I think the first 14 through 8 stayed the same, and there wasn't any movement until 7.
There's a lot of talk about the Bridges because they play the wing position. What's your initial impression about the Bridges, the 2 Bridges?
We're going to dive into both of those guys, as we move forward. I don't want to get into too much detail about either one. Obviously, both are very good basketball players that put themselves in position to be in consideration by a number of teams up in the lottery. So again, I can't wait to meet both of those young guys to really get a feel for who they are and how they may or may not fit.
Are you going to interview everybody?
Well, no. At the combine, we're limited to the number we get. I think we get 20 visits here at the combine, a maximum of 20 interviews. And then when we start bringing guys into New York to work out, you obviously get a chance to spend more time and interview them more. With some of them, this may be just the first round of interviews, because I'm sure a number of the guys that we meet with here will also bring to New York for, a longer visit, trying to get a better feel for who these guys are when you have them for 48 hours versus a 30-minute interview that we're going to have at the combine.
In your mind, Monday? You start the workouts next Monday?
No, we haven't started our workouts Monday. We'll let you guys know when we get that settled. We're going to be, obviously, now that the lottery is settled, there'll be a lot of logistical things to figure out and work with agents and when they're able to get guys in. So, but I think the bulk of the workouts, though, will occur probably in the month of June.
At this point, in your mind, how much do you kind of zero in on certain guys at this point, kind of narrow down certain prospects that you want to talk to, or do you go into this with completely open mind?
Well, I think you have an idea of a loose idea of where guys may or may not fall in the draft. So obviously you want to try to talk to as many guys as you project in your range. But also, historically, I've liked to try to broaden that range because, again, going into the draft, you never know what can occur. There may be trade opportunities to move up or down, whatever the case may be. So I think it's important for us as an organization to know as much about all these guys as we can, regardless of where they're projected.
How important is this process overall? You obviously, you say you're a rebuilding team, you want to do it the right way, but I know you want to win.
Yes.
So how important is it to make sure you're doing everything right and making sure...
Well, I think it's very important. I think that hopefully you guys are starting to recognize that in everything we do, we want to be very prudent. We want to get as much information as we can so that we can make very solid, sound decisions moving forward that we feel will improve our team incrementally moving forward. And this process is no different.
Is it any different though from past stops for you, or is it the same?
No, I think obviously I'm getting a chance here to maybe add a little, tweak a little bit here and there from what we've done in the past. But I've been fortunate to work with a number of great organizations that I thought we did, a good job of preparing for the draft. But again, I'm just looking forward and excited about this process and really, finding who's going to be the next New York Knicks to be a contributor for our team.
How important is it?
Guards, obviously. Would you be comfortable bringing on another guard?
Again, it would always. I think it only makes sense if you feel that guard is just far and above better than what you have on the roster, and we haven't been able to make that determination yet.
How important is it to have Fizdale now in the mix to bounce some of these players with him involved?
I think it's extremely important to have a coach in-house, because the more we spend time with David, and the more he gets the chance to spend some time with some of these guys that we bring in to work out, you can kind of see what players may or may not really fit with how he's going to coach the team and what his personality. So I think it's very important. It was important to us to be able to hire a coach and have a coach in place in time for the draft process here at the Combine. So excited about really working with him and digging into these guys. And I'm sure he's going to have to catch up and learn more about the players because this year, because he had been coaching the beginning of the year and then had been out of work for a little while. But he's a hard worker, and we'll bring him up to speed really quick.
Is there something in the interviews that start tomorrow that you really want to get out of these guys? Like, what is the most important thing?
No, I just think you want to get an initial feel for what his personality is like. We've done a lot of intel gathering on these guys, and so there may be a few questions that you ask that you may want answered about whether it's things in his background or past or whatever the case may be. So, but again, it's just want to get a good general feel for how the young man presents himself. How confident is he? What does he want to be a part of? What's important to him? A lot of those things, I think we're able to at least begin digging beneath the surface on it.
So concerned with the center situation, contract issue, opt-outs. How much is that impacting you?
I'm not thinking of, obviously that's part of our roster, but as it relates to this week, not as much. I've said all along again, we got to add talent to this team, regardless of the position. And so, we will handle that and deal with that as it comes, but we're in constant communication with all those representatives of the centers on our roster who have the ability to opt in or out.
When you have those interviews, is there you guys in there, including Fizdale, or how's that?
No, it'll be a small representative number of our staff. Obviously Steve Mills and myself, and our assistant general manager Gerald Mackins, and one or two of our scouts and Coach Fizdale. So it won't be the entire front office because that may be a few too many people in there, but it'll be a comfortable enough group, diverse enough group that will be able to get a feel for each of these guys and be able to give their input on them as we review all of them.
This is obviously the first step for your off-season. What kind of team are you hoping to build for next year?
Again, nothing's changed in terms of wanting to have a team that's going to compete, fight, and give us an effort each and every night, and hopefully develop into a better defensive team. I think that's going to be very important to us. I know one of the things with attracted us to Coach Fizdale. I know he wants to be a team that plays with pace, and so hopefully we can grow in that area. I just want to see growth from a lot of our younger players this year, to see how they improve their games, whether it's from a shooting perspective, whether it's from getting in better shape, getting stronger, whether it's becoming a better defender. We want to challenge each and every one of our guys to get better.
Can you get a star player at 9, do you think? or do you?
You never know. I mean, you look around the league now. Utah had good success with it. It's just, I think a lot of the times in the draft, everybody has to be careful with. A lot of it is fit too. And some guy may get drafted in one particular place where it's not a great fit initially, or it is a great fit. So I think that's the important thing for us, is finding whose personality, whose game is going to be the closest fit to how we want to play and what we want to be about. So, and then we'll see who he develops. I think it's just important that whoever we get becomes at least a contributing player to our cause to getting better.